currently pouring right now, but I'm hoping the weather will get better because I'm going to Colorado this weekend. I'm going to Colorado for my friend Rachel's graduation. She's graduating from Naropa University, which is located in Boulder, Colorado. I'm gonna fly into the Denver airport. We're gonna spend the whole weekend just celebrating her. But I'm going to look up the best bookstores in Colorado, in Boulder, Colorado, that I can visit during my trip there, because I think that it's just so fun to visit bookstores that are located in places that aren't where you live. Like when you're traveling, it's like one of my favorite things to do, just to like look to see what bookstores there are, like how different they look, and just like the vibe is just different. So we are going to do some research to see what bookstores are the best bookstores so we can visit in Boulder, Colorado. And then we're going to rent a car. And then we are going to go to Colorado. And then we are going to visit the bookstores. So that's the game plan for this video. That is the game plan for this weekend. I need to pack, I need to check into my flight, and then we leave tomorrow night. So let's do this thing. I'm gonna like try to get really, really deep into this research. I'm gonna like go in hard. I'm gonna like find like the best of the best. We found it. We found it. We did it. The 5 best bookstores in Boulder, Colorado. Those are going to be the ones that we visit. I'm going to write down the addresses. We're going to do a game plan, and we're going to visit them. Exciting. So I'll check back in with you guys when I am boarding my flight. I made it to Colorado around 11 p.m. and I rented a car and drove all the way to the co-op that my friend Rachel lives at. So the next morning I got up, I got dressed for her graduation. I looked at their amazing library that they have in their house. They have some really cool books in here, like this Pink Fairy book. I didn't get a chance to read it, but I really wanted to. We got to go to Rachel's graduation. There she is. And they announced her name.
University, and on behalf, I present them to you for the awarding of those degrees. Rachel,
Throughout the ceremony, they had these people playing bagpipes, which I don't really get because I think that's like a Scottish thing and this is like a Buddhist university, but it was really cool anyway. And Rachel gave us a tour of her college, and here we are in the music room and kind of just hung out for the rest of the day. Hey friends! This is a squishy little car. My head kind of almost touches the ceiling, and there's this thing right here and this thing right here. There's a lot happening all in a small amount of space. Today we are going to be going to all of the bookstores in Colorado. Well, no, not all of the bookstores in Colorado, but we will be going to like the top 5 that I have found online of the best bookstores in Boulder, Colorado. So that will be really fun. I got in on Friday night. It is Sunday today. Yesterday, my best friend Rachel graduated from Naropa University, and it was super exciting. Woke up early so that I could kind of go around and look at the coffee shops and look at the bookstores. Here is the game plan. Like I wrote down a list of bookstores to go to, and I forgot it. I looked up the 5 best bookstores in Boulder, and it gave me like a list of things, but then everyone here since I've been in Colorado has been telling me to go to this one bookstore called Trident bookstore, and I think that one's going to be the very last one that I go to, just because that's the one that me and Rachel's mom are all going to get breakfast at. So right now we are going to start with the rest of the list. So we are going to go to Boulder bookstore. Okay, first things first, we are going to find a good coffee shop. Then we are going to go to the Boulder bookstore. Boxcar Coffee seems to be like near where the first bookstore is. 6 minutes away. Let's turn on my CarPlay and let's turn on some music. It's a little rainy today. It's been a little bit rainy since I got into Colorado, but that's nothing different because it was rainy when I was in Nashville too. But I'm gonna turn on my rainy day playlist. Okay, we made it to Boxcar Coffee. It was only like 5 minutes away, and it's so stressful because there were 2 coffee shops that I wanted to go to, and they're both like within walking distance of each other. So I was like, should I go to the Laughing Goat or should I go to Boxcar Coffee? I haven't gotten like any recommendations for coffee shops, so I don't know which one's better, but they both have people outside, so I think I'm just gonna go with Boxcar Coffee and hope that it's good. It's really hard to be bad at coffee, so as long as I get coffee in my system, then I'll be okay. So you guys, I didn't prepare for this at all, and I kind of just thought that if I woke up early on a Sunday morning and got some coffee and spent my time going to a bunch of bookstores, that would be like literally the perfect day. But I just looked up the Boulder bookstore that I want to go to. It doesn't open until 11 a.m. It's like 9 a.m. right now. And then I looked up the Beat Bookshop, and that doesn't open until 3 p.m., which is so late in the day. Bookworm is completely closed today. I don't know if we'll be able to do this video. I did a little bit of thinking about what my day is going to look like today, because it's 10 o'clock right now. When I first started this video, I was like, well, like it's 9 a.m. Like the bookstores don't open till 11. Like I feel like just nothing's gonna happen, blah, blah, blah. But then I went to the bookstore. No. Then I went to the coffee shop, and the coffee shop was a huge line, so it must be really good. I got like a blueberry scone, and I just got like an oat milk latte. And I think that they're known for like their pastries or something, because everyone seemed really excited about all the pastries. So I think they did like make them in-house. But the blueberry scone looks really good, so I'm excited to eat that this morning. Anyway, what I was saying, it took like an hour to get my coffee, so now it's 10 a.m. and the bookstores don't open until 11 a.m. But Trident bookstore, which I was going to go to with Rachel and her mom, opens at 7 a.m. So it's open right now. And I texted Rachel and I was like, what's the plan for today? Like, cause she was still sleeping. And she told me that she was cool with me going to Trident bookstore, and then we could like go out for lunch or something later, because her mom's also going to hang out with her boyfriend, like Rachel's boyfriend. Anyway, so things got a little bit messed up, and pretty much we're not going to be going to Trident bookstore anymore altogether. So I'll just go. So I'll go to Trident bookstore right now, and then we will go to all of the other bookstores when they open at 11. On that list of 5 bookstores, the 5 best bookstores in Boulder that I had originally looked up and was originally going off of, one of them is closed until 3 p.m. today, and one of them is just permanently closed. Also, I think one of them is just like closed today in general. Those 3 already we can't do. So I was looking up just like in my maps, like bookstores to go to, and I found a couple others that also open at 11. So I think that will be probably our move for today. And then also I was looking up, like apparently Barnes & Noble is really close to here. I'm not gonna go to Barnes & Noble because I wanted this to be more of like a local bookstore thing. But I was reading the reviews of the Barnes & Noble here, and it said that 4 months ago somebody got stabbed there. They were like, somebody got stabbed here, I'm traumatized, don't come here unless you absolutely need to. And I was like, what is going on at the Barnes & Noble in Boulder? These scones are really, really good. We are about to go to the Trident bookstore, which is like the most recommended bookstore that I have heard of in Boulder, Colorado. I'm pretty sure it's like a breakfast place slash coffee place slash bookstore. It's where all of the Naropa University slash Boulder, or like I guess CU people study. Man, their online store features mystery book bags. I don't even know what that is, but that sounds so fun. And we're starting off with like a really strong one, okay? Because everyone has been talking about the Trident bookstores since I've gotten here. Wonderful angle, but someone is literally in the car right next to me. I just wanted to finish my thought. 5 minutes away, so I'm gonna start driving, and I'll talk to you more when I see you there. So I grabbed my coffee and I started walking over to Trident. This little area, it's called Pearl Street. It is so cute. There's so many cute stores here. One side of Trident is the bookstore and the other side is the cafe. So I entered in on the bookstore side, and they had so many great books there. I was really excited to just look through everything they had. There were a lot of different books than what I was used to, such as a lot of religion books, a lot of mysticism and crystals, and it was all just really fun to look at. So this is the cafe portion, at least the outside area. There's also an inside area of it, and it connects directly to the bookstore and to the cafe on the other side. They had this $1 book rack, which looked so fun. There were no books in there that I personally wanted, but I was tempted to just grab one and try it out. Cool, so I just finished visiting the Trident bookstore, and that was so cute. This little bookstore with not like the most popular books. There's a lot of like classic literature, and there were a couple of beach reads there, and then there was a lot of like religion books and photography books and just like a bunch of different stuff. Like it wasn't like your normal like bookstore that would have like a ton of like the romance and science fiction stuff. They did have the Akhtar series, so that was interesting. Like at least for Naropa University, it's like a Buddhist university, and it also like psychology is like one of their biggest majors, so that makes sense that there would be like a lot of books like that. And it was also just like super cool going to a bookstore that had books that aren't normally what you see in bookstores. Overall, Trident was just like such a cool place. I didn't really get to try their food or their coffee, but it seemed really fun, and I might want to go back there if I come back to Colorado at some point, because I've heard that their signature iced mocha lattes are really, really good. So that's something that I might want to try. I'm going to go to Boulder bookstore right now. It's literally like a minute away. I don't even know why I'm driving, but I am going to drive, and I'm going to just stop in there. My phone's about to die, which sucks because I am filming everything on my phone, and I also don't know anything about this town, so like I would have to figure out how to get back to the co-op if my phone does die, because I don't have directions. The Boulder bookstore doesn't open until 11, so I might swing by the co-op, get my portable charger, and then come back to the Boulder bookstore. The Boulder bookstore, it is the best bookstore in Boulder. That's what it says on this. It was voted gold status for the best bookstore in Boulder. Weekly's Best of Boulder awards more years in a row than you can count. Truly is the best of the best bookstores Boulder has to offer, and it's not just locals that feel this way. That's cool. So it is supposed to be like the best. So we went to Trident, which was the most recommended bookstore, and now we're going to go to Boulder bookstore, which is supposed to be the best bookstore in Boulder. Yeah, I am gonna have to go back to the co-op because my phone is at like 3%. So I'm going to go do that, and then we will make our way back to the Boulder bookstore. And I think that Rachel will be with me for that, so you guys can meet her. So when I got back to Rachel's house, she asked if I wanted to go on one of her favorite hikes, and I was wearing sandals and jeans that were way too long to be in the rain, but I was like, why not? And we went, and it ended up being so beautiful. It's giving me really strong Twilight vibes. Like I straight up was looking for Edward Cullen to come out and whisk me away. Is that how you say that? Whisk me away? Whisk me away? Anyway, the hike was really beautiful, and my feet got really wet, but it was definitely worth every moment. We're walking over to the Boulder bookstore right now. This is Rachel. Why are you just... The Boulder bookstore ended up being a lot more like the bookstores that I was used to. There were a lot more familiar books that I have seen at my own bookstores, and I was really excited to look through all of them. And this place was absolutely huge. There were like 3 stories, there were rows and rows of books. It was just endless of what you could find here. And the ceiling was so cute. Everything in there was just such a vibe. Also, my fiance's name is Eric Berger, so finding this book was very strange. So I went up to the second story, and there were even more books, a lot more mystery and horror kind of books. Also had these beautiful stained glass windows. They were playing this music the entire time that just made it into such a vibe. Sorry, I keep saying vibe, but yeah, no, this place was really great to explore. There were rugs everywhere. I think this is the 3rd floor that I'm up right now. As I was exploring the 3rd floor, I found one of my favorite books, The Power of Habit. If you haven't read this, I 100% recommend it. It just completely changed my life, and I still quote it to this day. When I thought that there were no more rooms, I stumbled upon this other room full of books. So I went down the stairs, and I was able to explore this whole other area. I don't know how a bookstore can have this many books, but it was just absolutely amazing, and I fell in love with it. It's closed. So we're in the Boulder Hotel right now. We're thinking about going to the Lighthouse bookstore. What would you say the Lighthouse bookstore is?
It's an independent, mystical, spiritual bookstore. Mysticism, the divine.
Nice. It's also on Pearl Street, which is where the Boulder bookstore and the
26 years old.
Nice. Yeah, he's my age. It's crazy. It's on the same street as the Boulder bookstore and Trident. So there's a lot of bookstores in that area, so it's really cool. We're gonna go check that out right now. So we are entering the Lighthouse bookstore, which was right underneath the Ben & Jerry's, so it smelled really great in there. This place was a lot smaller than the other two and had a lot more items than just books. There were a lot of crystals, a lot of meditation pillows. There was even a psychic in the back that you could sign up for a reading. I didn't want to film her because I don't want her to be in the video if she didn't want to be, but I thought that was really interesting. There were a lot of spell candles, which is cool. It was a very like Wiccan, pagan, heavy bookstore, which I thought was awesome. They have these crystal pendants and a bunch of tarot cards. This is us dancing to I don't know what, and don't mind my bad dancing at all, that's embarrassing. For all the crystals. I really wanted to buy a crystal, but ended up not. It was very witchy vibes in here. There were a lot of witchcraft books. Anyway, we're about to go out to dinner with Rachel's mom, and she is taking like a bike to the library, and then I'm going to pick her up from there. But I just wanted to do some quick last minute thoughts. The Boulder was my absolute favorite, then Trident, and then Lighthouse. I really wish I could have checked out the Beat bookshop because that one looked really cool, but it was closed unfortunately. And then there were a couple others that were closed on Sundays, so I guess I'm just gonna have to like come back at some point and try to visit more of the bookstores here. But I think 3 is good, and it was interesting like seeing how different it was in Boulder, Colorado. I know like here that's really like mindful and people meditate a lot. So yeah, it was fun. It was a good experience, and there she goes. And then the last thing we did in Colorado was Rachel brought me over to Boulder Falls. It was pouring rain, but we drove all the way up there, and it was such a magical experience. Only pouring rain, but we made it to Boulder Falls. Listening to the Twilight soundtrack this entire time. It's been good. And I was still wearing my long jeans and my sandals, so of course my feet were soaked, but it was honestly so beautiful that I don't really care. Walked back to the car and we drove back down the hill and we went to bed, and the next morning I woke up at 3 in the morning to leave. Okay, so I never filmed an outro for this video, so I think I'm just gonna do that really quick, but I wanted to say thank you guys so much for just experiencing Colorado with me. I don't know if I said this anywhere in the video, but that was my first time going to Colorado, so that was a really fun experience going to Boulder, hanging out with my friend Rachel, experiencing her world and that new world of bookstores, and it was just such a fun time to be able to just like hang out there. Overall, my experience of the Colorado bookstores is a 10 out of 10. I think it was so interesting looking through all of the books that I don't really get to see in like Nashville bookstores, so it was a very different experience, and I think that that's what made it so fun. I'm glad I got to show you guys a little bit of just what we did outside of going to the bookstores, along with going to the bookstores. It's kind of like a mix of my personal life with the life of books that I like to share with you guys, so that's kind of fun. And I know that it's a long video, so if you guys made it all the way to the end, then thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys watching me and experiencing these moments with me and getting to really love books together, and I love having a community like that, so thank you guys so much. If you want to see more of me on a daily basis, you can follow me on my Instagram, you can follow me on my book talk, and you can subscribe to me here because I post new videos every Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!